Hello everyone, David here, and today's video is on weights, or train weights. A couple weeks ago I had to go to Creamery Tire to get a tire fixed, and while I was there I remembered I wanted to get some more wheel weights, and normally I give the guy a cup and I pick through the bucket and get a handful of weights, and he said, "You want a whole bucket full?" I said, "Well, not really, but I don't have time to dig through a bucket." So he gave me a 5-gallon bucket full of weights, and it weighed 5 gallons of tire weights is about 200 pounds or something. So I took them home and sorted through them. I ended up with about 3 coffee cans full of weights like this, and about 3 coffee cans full of weights like this, and a coffee can full of weights like this here. So there's different weights and different uses here, so I'll show you real quick. So these are the old-fashioned kind here, the standard kind that attach to the rim, and some of these are lead and some are steel, and you can tell if you get a lead weight it'll bend. So what you can do with these is melt them. There's a lot of things you have to be careful about with lead. You don't want to handle it too much. Melting it in itself is not really that dangerous, but of course you don't want to inhale any fumes, and you don't want to handle it too much and get that in your skin. But what I did, I melted a lot of this down, and I make weights like this here. I drill a hole in a piece of wood and screw that to another piece of wood and melt the lead and pour it in there, and then when let it cool a little bit and then pull it apart, and that'll work for 2 or 3 times, and then the wood kind of burns up. But so that gives you a lead weight there. But so whatever you want to use, if you have a use for lead weights, there you go. The steel weights here, of course, they're not going to bend, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I got probably a coffee can or 2 of these, and I really don't know what I'm going to do with them, other than you fill up a coffee can and you got a 10-pound weight to hold something while you're gluing it or whatever. So yeah, you get a whole bunch of different weights, different sizes like that, and if you want to melt them down and make them to fit something, that's fine. Just be very careful with using lead. So other types of tire weights are these guys here. They're kind of flexible and they're pretty light really, so there's not a whole lot of weight. They just cut these, I guess, in different lengths and glue them down. So, whatever. So those are those kinds of weights. So as you can see here, there's a whole variety of sizes of these flat weights, and they're steel, so no hazard with that. These are pretty big. You can actually buy these at Harbor Freight, like $8 for 20 of them or something like that. But whatever, I got a bucket full of them. So you have different ones here, different sizes. So when you get them, they have like this double sticky tape on them. So basically what you have to do is take them and soak them with, I use Goo Gone. I get this at the dollar store. So you got to soak them in that overnight, and it'll take the paper off. There's another example with the paper on them. So these ones here I already cleaned off the sticky stuff on them. So we got a bunch of weights there. So like these guys here, they'll fit in an N gauge train like that. So a couple of those in there will help. Actually, these ones here, they'll fit in there also. And if you have an N gauge, you know that these cars really weigh nothing, and they're really difficult to keep on the track. At least I have a lot of problems with keeping them on the track. So a little bit of weight in there would certainly help these guys. And you can glue them in if you want, whatever, or put some double sticky tape on them. So that's good. These, I don't know how small Z scale is, but that might fit in a Z scale. I don't know how big that is. So anyhow, this came up on a topic with Human City Junction. We were talking about weights. If you remember, a long time ago, Billy Mays that used to do all those crazy commercials. This was originally called Mighty Putty. Now it's JB Weld Steel Stick, and a couple other companies make this stuff. But basically it's an epoxy, and you can see there's two different things. I guess that's like the epoxy, and then that's the hardener. What you do with this stuff is you cut yourself a piece of it like this. And I guess this stuff is pretty old. I don't even know if this is going to work. It might work. No, that's not going to work. Okay. Well, yeah, that needs to be thrown out. So it's an epoxy. You mix it up, and it'll make a putty, and it'll harden. Now, it has a little bit of weight to it, not a whole lot. But if you have Z-gauge, or you have a spot that you need to sneak a small weight in, you can mold it however you want and fit it in there. And also what you can do, you can take that putty, there's a bunch of bearings there, you can mix it in with steel bearings and shape a weight to fit whatever you need. These are roller bearings from a roller bearing that I took apart. So these actually are pretty heavy, so you can epoxy these in anywhere. So those are some different options there. Another option is you can buy steel stock here. It's about a 4-foot piece here. Couple dollars, probably about $5. I don't remember. I bought this when I was working on steam engines. But anyhow, you can buy this and then cut it up into pieces like that and use that for a weight. So that'll work too. This is 1/2 inch stock. You can buy this in 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, 1 inch, and 1 1/4 inch, and different thicknesses. So whatever works for you. So there's some different options there. You know, we have lead weights that you can melt on into whatever you want to fit. We have, you know, tire weights that are flexible. If you know, you need a flexible weight, you can cut them to any length. They're not really that heavy, but you can use those. And you have the steel weights here that come in a variety of different sizes to fit whatever you need. You can glue them in or sticky them in, however. And then of course the other option with the Mighty Putty or the JB Steel Stick. So there you go. There's some options if you need weights for your trains, and you can always go to tire places and they'll be happy to give you free weights. Alright, thanks for watching.